Ladies, how do you start learning to accept the way you look physically? Please subscribe and activate the beside the subscribe button to get a notification. Share your own story in the comments section below. I learned that I am not my type. Just because I don't find myself the most physically beautiful person doesn't mean I am not worthy of loving myself. I have started treating myself better, to eat healthier, moisturize, etc. and every once in a while I do feel absolutely gorgeous. I learned to love myself over 7 years ago now, and I still have times where thoughts of hating how my body looks creep up on me, but then I remind myself that I am sexy if and I love every stretch mark, wrinkle and vein I have, because they all come with amazing stories of my life. Find some affirmations and say them daily. When you see something you don't like about yourself, say something you do like. Train your brain to go positive. And last but not least, just learn to enjoy being you. There is only one of you out there and you are a uniquely beautiful being. Enjoy yourself. Life is too short to do otherwise. Edit to add, thank you for the awards. I am doing my best to respond to you all. Working full-time with 4 kiddos, 2 needy cats and my WFH husband takes up a lot of my time, but I am very happy to hear how my words have helped you all. I grew up in a household where I was constantly told I am fat, ugly and stupid, so for the first 32 years of my life, I agreed with them. Then one day I had enough of it. I hope you all will decide that you are worthy and learn to love yourself the same way I love me. I live the thing you said about not being my own type. I always thought my nose was too big, despite people telling me otherwise. Then I met this girl with an even bigger nose, the kind a lot of people would get surgery to change. A few days later I overheard some friends as they were talking about how attractive they find that feature in her. This totally changed my perspective, and I don't think my nose is too big anymore. It just fits my face. My husband says mine is cute, and I thought he was just high, but these women look cute to me. Wow, I just checked out that sub and all those women look beautiful to me. It's crazy how the mind can really make you focus on something that no one else notices. I haven't done this yet, but if I could learn to stop comparing myself so heavily to every girl I see, I would be a lot better off. When I was younger, I used to compare myself to other girls, women a lot. I think I was able to change this automatic thought process, 1 by building a strong core group of girlfriends, and 2 by changing my mindset by challenging comparing thoughts with trying to find positive qualities in those women, admiration over envy, and often telling them, e.g. I love your dress, you have beautiful eyes, you were really compelling in that meeting today. We also all have shared experiences unique to being women, and it helps to view women as allies instead of threats. I agree with this. I found that a way I've been able to overcome my insecurities is to acknowledge what I admire about other people. I'd quiet helps, but it does, and as a bonus, I get to make someone else feel better about themselves too. I think the realization that I'm not competing with every other woman in the world really changed my life. And I think it's so important to keep in mind that even models and celebrities, ones who most people would call perfect, gorgeous, have their own sets of insecurities. And this is really because the cheesy saying beauty is in the eye of the beholder is so true. We tend to be so hard on ourselves and always can find something to pick on, even when other people may find us beautiful. But like others have said on this thread, it's so important to focus on the positive. When you're old and grey and wrinkly, you're not going to think about the cellulite you had on your legs at the beach, or how your nose looked in a photo. You're only going to look back on the experience itself. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. As a woman who discovered after age 25 that I was also attracted to other women, I'd say the point when I was genuinely attracted to women with the faults I hated in myself. Belly pouch, hot. Occasional pimple, cute. Wobbly thighs, hot. Anyway, the list goes on and on and on and on, but you get the picture. How could I be so disgusted with myself, when I was finding these things in other women attractive? Dude, I identify with this so much. For the most part, one am attracted to women built like me. Why am I holding myself to an entirely different standard? Some of it is sports related, I think. But yeah, definitely understand what you're saying here. Me too. I don't know when I would start looking at myself with the same warmth and admiration I have for people who are like me. That was a journey, and I still have setbacks. I started to question the beauty standards around me. Do I have to be skinny? Do I have to have a certain type of waist, hips, breast, butt, nose, lips, eyes, forehead, hair? Who made these rules and why am I following them? Asking myself these questions made me realize how toxic social media and the whole fashion and celebrity culture is. So, instead of looking at women in magazines or highly photoshopped Instagram posts, I started to look at the women around me. They were all so diverse. It made me realize how blindly I followed beauty standards and how I had to wake up to see that beauty standards are a myth. Once the beauty standards were deconstructed, I looked at myself more in a kind way. I like my big forehead and I like my big nose with a hook. I am okay with not having a flat belly, and the biggest butt. Also, what helped me was the poet Rupi Kaur's Home Body. It is so beautifully written and describes how your body is your home and that it is yours and that it is flawless. Who made these rules and why am I following them? I've read a sentence somewhere that really did it for me. Who is profiting out of your self-hate? I still struggle sometimes, but it's much easier to love myself when I remember that question. And why we are made to hate ourselves. Edit to say, thank you for the award. That question really helped me a lot and I'm glad more people find it helpful. I've read a sentence somewhere that really did it for me. Who is profiting out of your self-hate? That's really interesting when you think about it. I'd never read this before, so thank you. It really opens up new perspectives for me. By getting into weightlifting and physical training with the purpose of getting real strong regardless of how good looking it will make me, concentrating in the feeling it gives me versus the results I get from fitness helped me realize it is only me living inside my body, and that my body is me. She deserves to be nurtured, she deserves to be loved, respected, taken care of, etc. Now when I lift, I kiss my biceps like those freak guys in stupid films and I feel truly thankful for having such an amazing organism, and the opinion of the world matters nothing to me. This is exactly how I approach exercise now too. When I work out, I'm not like those Instagram girls who wear cute outfits and look flawless in the gym. I'm a sweaty ass pig and I can't really care much what I look like as long as I'm putting all my energy into the work. The looking good is the byproduct of the effort you put into your fitness and nutrition. A few tips. Focus on what feature you like about yourself and try to make it even better. Look at yourself in a full-length mirror and just stare. Look at yourself as you are, and not as what you think you look like. Your brain distorts features. Find clothes that fit your body right. A baggy t-shirt or a hyper-tight pair of jeans aren't doing you any favors. There are people on the internet that have your same body type. See what they're wearing and try to reverse engineer their style and outfits. These are great suggestions that have helped me too. As far as finding the right clothes, if you can afford it, try using a service like Stitch Fix or Dyer & Company. They sent me clothes I probably never would have picked out in a store, but actually looked really good on my body. I started to consume more media with women who looked like me. It took me a good while to realize, but a lot of the facial features I dislike on me are actually common features on a particular Asian ethnicity, but most celebs don't have them. Ironically, it was a show centered around blind dates based on appearances that had the most impact on me. On their Instagram pictures they looked like celebs. But on the show itself they looked normal. Not every angle was flattering. They'd have chin flab visible sometimes. The makeup would look weird in the lighting. The wonders of seeing people outside of their most ideal angles. I started seeing faces similar to mine for the first time in my life. Still they'd be considered attractive. It made me feel reassured that it's okay not to look Instagram perfect at all times and that I don't have to look like a celeb to be considered attractive. I'd be super interested in having a list of good media with more diverse women. It's starting to piss me off in movies and porn, to always see one body type. Just watch British TV. I started wearing clothes that actually fit me, and I looked, and therefore felt, so much better that the numbers didn't matter. This is such a big one. I haven't really gotten bigger since high school, but 10 years later the shape of my body is different, as it should be. I'm a 28-year-old woman and my thighs are thigh-shaped, not straight up and down like they were at 17. I was like 24 before I bought some nice jeans that fit my current body, and damn, they look so much better and are way more comfortable. Turns out I can move just fine in tight jeans, if they fit me. Just because the other pants weren't the wrong size doesn't mean they weren't the wrong pants. If you don't look smoking, they're probably the wrong pants. I walk around naked around the house as much as I can, even though I gained 10 pounds in the past few years. Walking around naked and feeling my body makes me see and accept the reality. I do strive to look better each day, but now it comes from self-love more than self-criticism. You don't put so much focus on how you look and place more on who you are. It's of a lesser importance really. Our society's modern-day advertising and social media feeds us one ideal beauty standard as the be-all and end-all. You need to learn to be grateful that your body has taken you this far, kept you alive, allowed you to speak, to hear, to eat delicious food and to feel the utmost of pleasure. We take it all for granted until it is taken away. I accepted myself long ago. My illness gave me a type of love-hate relationship with my body, not for the way it looked but the way it operated. I now embrace it, but it took some adjustment and readjustment again. On a practical level, for boosting external confidence, dress in a cute style that makes you feel good. If you're unsure what suits you, take photos in a tall mirror, then check your outfit out. Get a new haircut. Sometimes these type of little confidence boosts can help. 2 things happen. 1. You finish school. 2. You realize that most people don't care about you or how you look, so there's no point in being self-conscious, especially if it stops you going out and having fun. 3. If you know you have insecurities about your looks, don't feed them. Don't follow models on social media, and remember that most photos and ad campaigns are airbrushed. My mum helped me with this greatly. Being a much darker skin tone than my sibling, light skin tones are practically revered in my country. She never outwardly pointed out my darker tone, but as a younger teenager, when people commented on my skin or even described me as black, I'm brown, and I'd mention it to her, she reassured me constantly and reminded me that it matters what's under the skin that matters, and how being a confident and good person counts, and being a lighter tone doesn't mean that person is better, prettier or smarter. It's given me a lot of confidence to feel comfortable in my skin. Literally, I also like being fit and work hard to maintain it. My ex preferred me with a little more weight, and to make him happy I stayed that way for years, but it didn't make me happy, and now I'm so much happier being the size I like me to be. A beautiful question. Personally, I've acquired a great yet mostly dangerous characteristic so that I can somewhat accept myself. It's called laziness. I cannot be bothered to pressure my brain with the will to pursue beauty, nor do I waste my energy turning my gaze and staring at things that I'd be envious of because of its beauty. The most I've ever done is read Wattpad books and fantasize about the characters' looks, but that's it. 100% the best answer here. I finally started to dress the way I always said I would. Once I looked the way I wanted to, usually once I was at the weight I wanted to be at, my face cleared up, I learned makeup, hair. It was hard at first, but I kept dressing the way I always wanted to. The not I didn't it they not I realized I didn't need to wait. I could be confident just the way I am, and Joe, I love to do it. There are still difficult days, but I am learning to love myself just the way I am. It came with age. Because age is an unavoidable thing. I don't think I'm ugly, my skin just changed. I keep telling myself that more wrinkles equals more wisdom. I feel like once I grew up into my 20s and realized that beauty standards change every single day, then I decided to unconditionally love my body. Also, I don't think we as women give our bodies enough credit. Our bodies have the ability to create life, and I think that's beautiful in itself and a huge reason for us to love our bodies. I think we're often way too hard on ourselves to the extent that we become our own enemy. That's not a way to live life. So that's why I'm more accepting of myself, whether I put on weight, lose weight, etc. By improving everything you can change and then accepting what you can't change. This, actually working out and gaining weight, made wonders for my self-esteem. Feels so much better now. Supportive friends and family and dates, partners. I know the old phrase, you can't love others when you don't love yourself, but I don't completely agree. Hearing my boyfriend and friends say what made me attractive, sexy, etc. let me look at myself in a new way, their way, and I was able to appreciate much more. I also came to the realization that I probably will only look worse with time, lol, so might as well enjoy it as it goes. Also, not all the time because effort, but a well-fitted outfit. When I really need a power outfit, I put on the button-down shirt, pencil skirt, which looks great on every body type, and stilettos. At a certain point, I realized that my achievements weren't driven by how I looked, but how I acted. My promotions and opportunities at work had everything to do with how I approached my job, treated others, and cultivated relationships. My coworkers didn't care about how I looked, and my husband didn't exactly marry me at my peak physical form. I had kids, and now I have skin and stretch marks that diet and exercise aren't going to do anything about. In the past couple of years, I've also gone from hating my thighs to loving them. They've always been larger, but now I've learned what they can really do. They're beasts on the bike, and they were made for a good heavy leg day at the gym. So now my thighs are still big, but it's because I've spent the time building them. So now I'm that mum at the swim club in the summer who doesn't hesitate to wear a two-piece bathing suit, stretch marks, thighs, and all. I was finally at peace with my physical appearance after I had my son at age 17. I didn't. I am saving up for a rhinoplasty. And if I can afford it down the line, I'll get my boobs done too. I really did try for a long time to accept my nose, but it is what it is. I'm not super happy with the rest of my body, however it's enough for me. As long as I'm pretty enough to reap the benefits of being pretty, I can say that in my anecdotal experience, my life has been infinitely easier since glowing up somewhat. But as for others, I'd recommend seeking why you can't accept the way you look, and looking deeper into that. If it's love you want, most of the long-lasting relationships I've seen have been with average-looking people. If it's sex, looks generally don't matter too much unless you're picky. Success, well, I'm still working on that. Had this question yesterday. I went down a rabbit hole when I saw my partner's ex-girlfriend in a photo. I had a few minutes where I really doubted why he would ever be interested in me physically after see how lovely she appears on the outside. It was a huge blow to me, and then talking it out with my friend I realized I really didn't feel that way before I saw and made a comparison. That was the bad idea, making a comparison to someone else. I started to project all of my insecurities that I have been feeling in this COVID lockdown body. I like my body when I feel strong, and when I feel healthy. So my realization was a reminder of why I like working out and eating well. How I feel reflects what I see. Do things that make you feel good, and what you see will reflect that, even if it isn't perfect. I have a big booty and legs, and when I feel good I see them as strong and capable and not just big. By no longer only following people on Instagram that I find attractive and are usually the beauty standard, but following people who look more like me face and body-wise. At some point something just clicked in me and I just started feeling good about myself. both looks and personality-wise. It started with my first boyfriend, I think. If he liked me then I was worth being liked. It made it easier to accept all other people in my life who said nice things about me too. I trust that they say it because they believe it, and if they see me like that then I sure as hell can see it too. Around that time I also started taking better care of myself, which makes me feel good. If I spend so much time taking care of everything then how can I feel bad about me? I don't follow social media, which probably helps a lot too. I do have a tendency to compare myself to others. And finally, whatever I am not okay with, I ask myself if I would go to the lengths to change it. If I would, then I try my best to do it. If I wouldn't, then it's good enough. Yeah, I don't have abs, but I don't work out and I don't plan to work out in a way that my belly will be absolutely flat, so it's all good. Yeah, my boobs don't have a perfect drop shape and are not as big as I'd like, but I don't want to have surgery on them, so I might as well accept that they are the way they are. Besides, they're boobs, so they're automatically nice. I didn't, so I worked towards getting somewhere where I could. I started with weight loss and progressed into fitness strength training with a focus on skincare. I've got a fix it or shut up about it mentality. Fix it or shut up about it. This